Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got another Final Table where Brendan made a deep run in a $3 tournament, scooped a whole bunch of bounties. Again, this is from about a month ago. Boppity boo, boppity bee. What else is there to say? There's about 6,000 runners, about $750 for first place and second place. I think it's about $500 for third place. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Brendan comes in second place position. That's good to see. We got Zoom with that big stack. AH in the small blind. Don't know how to pronounce their name. I'm not even going to give it a shot. Megatech with 5 million chips. Facing the min raise, should we defend the King 4? Brendan is a pussy and he says, no, I'm not going to. He would have flopped 2 pairs. Boppity boo. Boppity bee. Someone let me know, does the King 4 just hit the muck or is it a 3-better fold situation? Doopity doo, doppity dee. We got Korean America. Oh, there's the payouts. What do you know? So about $500. Oh, we should just quickly go back and quickly announce what the payouts are, Brendan. Doopity doo, doop boo boo. Fourth place, about $400. Third place, or sorry, fifth place, $300. Sixth place, about $200. Boppity boo. Boppity bee. We see a few other numbers, but they don't really matter. We're going for first place. We want the $750 plus the bounties on top of it. That's what we're going for. An 8 and a 4 will happily hit the muck. So we also got BTG10. Interesting name. Rock Punk. Fold You Fool. And D Gates. Got a Queen 8-4 flop. Another possible 2 pairs for Brendan. Another fold. Look at all those hearts. Good fold pre-flop, Brendan. A Queen and a 4 will happily let this hit the muck. But to be fair, if folded to, should I go for the open here? I'm the biggest stack remaining. Boppity boo, the Queen 4 hits the muck. I would have liked to see an open. Let's just play super aggro. Not gonna happen this time. An ace for Megatech. I love it when they show a card. It's like, oh, believe me. It's like, oh, shut the hell up. We already knew you had some sort of holding. A Jack and an 8. Again, off about 60 blinds. Facing the Zoom X open, we'll find the fold. Wow, so I didn't think it'd be this quick, but I'm really confused about the King 4 hand to start off the final table. Should we just play tight? Zoom X is going to put a lot of pressure on us. Had we not flopped 2 pair, I probably wouldn't think too much about this hand. BTG facing about a half pot size bet on the flop. King 8-7, no flush draw, plenty of straight draws. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Queen and a 10, this could be a play if folded to. Fold You Fool under the gun. Thinks about it for a second, but they will let this shit go. Zoom X goes for the open, so I don't mind a fold. Looks like Zoom X is going to use that big stack, apply a lot of pressure on the remaining players. BTG looks to defend from the small blind. A7-5 flop, very interesting. Zoom X should have a whole lot of bullshit here. That should go for a lot of bets. BTG should have a lot of suited Ace X, suited Broadways, pocket pairs. Jack on the turn. Quickly take a peek. Oh, are we going to change it on up? Nice, very nice. We're going to change it on up to make it look a little bit more appealing. Hopefully the sound picks on up as well. Ace and a 3 for Brendan. The sound is picked up. The ace and the 3 will fold to the Zoom X raise. We're going to see a lot of that, I suppose. Doopity doo, doppity dee. Megatech plays call. Karen plays call. Fold You Fool completes the big blind. Ace 8-2 flop. No flush draw. No straight draws really, other than a couple of wheel draws, sorry. So there is some straight draws. Shouldn't have said there's no straight draws because there are some. What a fucking idiot. 1.5 million chips in the middle. We'll see who wants it. Megatech puts in a third pot size bet. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Karen plays call. Very interesting. We love to see it. 4 on the turn, so 3-5 makes a straight. Shouldn't see too much of that. I'd imagine. Karen has a lot of ace X. Does he ever have some pair of eights? Probably not. He's going to go all in here. Megatech finds the call. Ace Jack versus Ace 5 suited. A spade, a 5, or a 3. 6 of clubs on the river. That is not what we're looking for. Karen gets the full double. Megatech is a short stack now. 10 and a 2 for Brendan. We're happily going to let this go. Doobity-doo, dappity-dee. Fold you fool in the small blind. Brendan goes back to the dollars. He's thinking about first place some more. He's in second place. Very happy with his position. Wants to get some more bounties here, that's for sure. Look at some of the dollars that we see at the table. A couple $50 bounties, a couple $20 bounties. AH with the small $13 bounty. Just a couple buy-ins if you knock them out. Boppity boo, we do see an ace and a king rip it in versus the ace and the queen. Any queens dealer. Potential chop out. Do not come on the turn. Just a queen. Just a queen one time. Not gonna happen. 5 million chips for Rock Punk. They get the double. Doopity doo 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 doo. Ace and a 4 under the gun. We'll let this one go. So I do think my strategy should be play pretty tight here, as long as ZoomX is still in the pot. Once he folds, once D Gates folds, I would imagine I'd have the opportunity to steal some blinds. For example, with the Queen 4, was it? Queen 4 offsuit on the button. Once folded to, I should probably go for the open. Megatech with an ace might go for the 3-bet, but then we just have an easy fold. And if they call from the small, then we can just go play post flop in position, which seems like a pretty appealing situation. Anyways, it didn't happen. Brendan played like a pussy. We got a 4 and a 2 in the big blind, not what we're looking for here. Gonna be an easy fold once again. Rock Punk goes for the open. Hopefully ZoomX goes for a 3-bet here. We'd love to see it. You know, I completely forget what happens. I don't have a damn clue how we get to the end of this final table. Only happened a month ago, but, you know, short-term memory loss comes in handy sometimes. I guess that's kind of long-term, isn't it? A month ago? That sounds like a long-term memory problem. Long-term and short-term memory problems. Very difficult to go through, but nonetheless, we're rocking along. King 9-5 flop goes check. Hopefully ZoomX comes in for another bet ski here. 3-bet pot. Let's go ZoomX. Put in a bet. They go for the check. 10 of hearts on the turn. So Queen Jack makes a straight. Plenty of 2 pairs. I imagine ZoomX at best has some sort of King Queen. And he's set's gonna bet on the flop. Too many draws out there. Ace is probably gonna stab on the flop. Ace King of course goes for a bet. King Queen could always check back. Picks up a straight draw on the turn here. You know what, I'm just pretending ZoomX has the King and the Queen. This is so fun. When you don't see their whole cards, you got no fucking clue what's going on. Jack on the river. I'm just freaking guessing. Like, does ZoomX have some sort of spade draw that he checked back on the flop? Anyways, Brendan's got a couple of 9s. We're gonna see what the hell happens here. Fold you fool. Tight player goes for the open. Oh boy, I remember this hand now. Let me know what you think you should do with the 9 and the 9. Fold you fool. Tight player goes for the open. $21 bounty on their head. And the AH is going to go all in here for their $13 bounty. Again, not too enticing to get the $13. Brendan snap folds. We do see Ace King versus Ace Jack. Boppity boo. 10 high board. Both players with a straight draw to the 4. And the 9s would have held up. So I gotta say, I was mostly worried about AH's jam, and I didn't really care about the $13 bounty. I was really worried about losing million chips to them. And Fold You Fool, again a tight player, playing about 20 blinds deep. I didn't want to jam. The king and the queen is an easy open. We're gonna go for the 2.1x open. Would call if Megatech rips it all in, although they're likely to have a better holding than me. See, this is $1 million or a million chip. Whoa, we get a call from Karen. Oh, I think I remember this hand too. So what do we do with the king and the queen of the same suit? I'm gonna land on the call option. $23 bounty for Megatech. King high board. So good news for Brendan. There's flush draws, straight draws out the ass. We face a lead on the flop. Can't go anywhere. Have to play call. Jack of hearts on the turn. So 10-9 makes a straight. We face a huge bet full pot facing on 2 million chip bet. And we see Karen with a king and a queen. The side pot was for 2 million chips. The main pot was for 4. Ace on the river, 5s bust. Karen gets the bounty. They played it so much better than Brendan. They deserve it. Boppity boo, boppity bee. To be fair, I've got no clue what to do facing that huge ass bet on the turn. Feels like a spot where we should just fold. We lose a big pot, Karen wins a big one. We have the same holding, we would have chopped it on up. Would have got about $10 for our efforts. But most importantly, the chips, as the king jack faces the 3-bet and we quickly let it go. So our newfound position is 4th place. That's not fun to see. Ace and a 2 of the same suit. We could go for the open if folded too, but Brendan has the snap fold button on. Doopity doo, doppity dee. So yeah, that's really disappointing, eh? Wouldn't it have been fun to see a call? The jack just seems like a bad card. So like obviously it's only 10-9 that makes it straight. There's still the flush draw out there. King jack makes 2 pair. And there's some other 2 pairs like 8 jack. Was it 9 jack? Or 7 jack, sorry. So nonetheless, I was wondering about the hand. Should I just dunk it in pre-flop? Karen's call shouldn't be... There's certainly going to be some traps, but I wonder if I should still just dunk it in. Considering there's a bounty on the line. There's a lot of chips on the line. Should I just call pre-flop? And did I just play the hand poorly? That's also an option. Maybe I should just call on the turn. Gear up. Beepity boo boop 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 boo. Like in my humble opinion, I think Karen overplayed their king-queen. I obviously underplayed my king-queen. And Karen gets the bounty because of it. Brendan's real sad, but you know what? Karen deserves it, like I said earlier. And again, it was only for 20 bucks. We're playing for first place. We want the 750 bucks up top. Felt like it wasn't a good position to throw our big stack on the line. We do see a check raise here. This is fun. D Gates raising super small. Boopity boo, boppity bee. The check raise will get through. Flush gets there, 8 pairs on the turn. Boppity boo, boppity bee. 3 and a 2 will happily let go. Just how different this final table could have gone if Brendan got in there for the chop pot. We would still have our big stack hanging out at about 10 million chips or so. Just a little bit less, I suppose. But still, it would have been so nice. What a position it would have been. We still got 6 million chips. Still got plenty of wiggle room. 4th place position, there's still a couple of players we can get bounties from. And again, there's a $60 bounty on BTG. A couple of $20 bounties, and then AH with the small one. So again, it looks like Brendan's playing some very passive poker. The 9-9 hits the muck. To be fair, I feel like that should just be a fold, considering fold you fool goes for the open. But then the king and the queen, Brendan's feeling real salty about it. But that's why we're here. We're here to learn, we're here to improve. Somebody let me know if I should just move on, or should we have played better? I think play better is the option. Or play better is the answer. Anyways, BTG with the open. ZoomX thinking about a 3-bet here. Stick it in. AH in the big blind, the short stack. Doobity doo 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 doo. ZoomX will play call. Queen Jack 8 flop. Boopity boo doo 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 doo. Flop goes check, bet for a third. Hopefully ZoomX calls. They do 5 of hearts on the turn. So what do we think ZoomX has? Maybe like a jack, some sort of flush draw, potential straight draw. BTG. Gonna have the stronger range here. Sets, over pairs, top pair, top kicker. Could have a good flush draw here. BTG goes for the big bet on the turn. ZoomX is all in, so we're going to get to see a quick call from BTG. Ace-Queen versus Aces. Boppity-boo, boppity-bee. Queen on the river, please. No, not going to happen. Do-do-do-do-do-do-bitty-do. Queen deuce in the big blind will happily let this one go. See who plays for the pot. AH in the small blind with the short stack again. Doopity doo. ZoomX likely to go for an open on the button. Oh, we get a walk. How lovely. Each chip matters at this point of a tournament, so why the hell not? We'll just take the walk. Would have folded to a jam. And again, I think AH is just going to play reasonably tight. A very experienced player. They are not going to play like a fool. Karen will go for the raise. Was he facing a limp? We get a call from D Gates. 9-7-6 flop. The sound's gone away, and that's concerning for me, as we see Karen go for a betski here. For about 40%. The bet gets called 3 on the turn. Hopefully the sound picks up again. I like to hear the sound of the chips fly around as Karen puts in another betski here. The Gates will call ace on the river. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Let's see if we can get rid of that pause. Yeah, we did get rid of the pause button there. Anyways, all in from D Gates. Stack to pot ratio 1-to-1. And Karen will find the fold. Queen Queen says that's a shitty river. Boopity boo. Oh, the sound's back. That's great to see. Brendan with a 7 and a 4 on the button. We'll just let this one go. Looking at 2 big stacks in the blinds. So this final table has not gone how we want it to. Right from the get-go. Couple of 9s. Could have scooped a bounty. Fold you fool. Probably would have folded had I jammed. And had gone hunting for AH's bounty. Doobity doo. And then the king queen fold again. I'm still salty about it. Do 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 do. BTG in the small blind. Playing about 20 some, a little bit less than 20 blinds deep. Limps it on in. 10-8-4 flop goes. What? Brendan's looking at the dollars again. $7.50 for first. Alright. I remember now. Queen Jack suited. This is a play. Ooh, what would be fun is if ZoomX goes for the open and we go for the 3-bet. That would be fun. We don't need to go large. I don't think I'm going to do it, but it would be so fun. Oh, don't you dare fold. He just lets it go. Brendan's such a pussy. Oh no, I hate the fold. Oh no. Fold, you fool, in the big blind, getting a fair price. We'll see if he comes along to the flop. Doopity doo 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 doo. They will call king 3-2 flop. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Checks around to ZoomX. 1.4 million chips in the middle. ZoomX sizing up a Betsky here. Go for the bet. Come on. Getting a little impatient here. King 3-2 flop. Let's go. Putting a bet. 1.4 million chips. 500k is the bet. That took way too long. Hopefully Fold You Fool dunks it on in, and they do. Now was ZoomX just bluffing off his muffin? Yes, he was. 8-6 will let this one go, of course. If Queen Jack suited facing a ZoomX open is going to find the fold. 8-6 surely is going to hit the muck. I wonder what I'm going to play. What holdings are we going to play? We're folding 9s. We played a king and a queen. Played it poorly. AH will stick it all in for the short stack. D Gates goes bounty hunting for the 13 bucks. Doopity doo 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 doo. Boppity boo 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 boo. Is there any way to make this full screen? Whoa, it's full screen now. Maybe that's a little better. Ace King versus Ducks. Deuces are holding up for the time being. Brendan would have made a straight, but we don't give a shit about that. Ace or a king? No, we get a queen on the river. Just like that, we lose AH. D Gates gets the bounty with the Ducks. Most importantly, the chips, they're up to 18 mil now. Queen and a 2 will let this one go. Doopity doo 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 doo. So we got 2 short stacks remaining. Rock Punk and Fold You Fool. Hanging in there at about 15 blinds. And I think about 18 respectively. D Gates will go for the open. It's a min open. ZoomX will play call. Queen 10-4 flop. Karen's tilted, I wonder why. D Gates goes for the 40% bet on the flop. Poppity boo. And ZoomX quickly folds. $10-3 in the big. Gonna be an easy fold if there's any action. Hopefully we get another walk. I don't think so. ZoomX is a very aggressive player. They could go for a limp here. That would be fun to see. Limp, raise. I doubt it, but like, it would be so cool to see. Come on, ZoomX. Play call already. There we go. Stick in the raise, stick in the raise, do it. Oh, he checks back like a pussy. Queen, Queen 2 flop. Doobity doo, it would have been cool. Not gonna happen here today. ZoomX bets a big blind. Oh, excuse me. And we quickly fold. Doobity doo 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 doo. Queen and a 4. We got the snap fold button going. Suppose we could always limp it on in if folded too, but Zoom X will go for the open queen high board, but what the fuck does that matter? Do. Another queen jack for Brendan. So if folded too, looks like an easy open. We're gonna go for the min open this time. BTG in the big blind with plenty of chips to defend here. King 10 8 flop, all diamonds. We're gonna go for a little bet, 1.5 blinds. Oh, we better bet. Come on now. Putting a little bet, 1.5 bigs. Boopity boo, bop boppity boo. BTG calls 10 on the turn. Could check back and look to realize our equity. We obviously aren't getting a 10 to fold. We could put a lot of pressure on an 8. A king's not folding. Ace on the river, very interesting card. As we make our straight here. If BTG leads, should I jam? I doubt it. We do size up a big bet here, 5 blinds into 8.5. Should I go smaller? No, I think a big bet makes a lot of sense. BTG very likely to fold here, but we will give him the opportunity to call with any 10x, any king, and obviously an ace. Fold you fool finds the 10. Obviously didn't make a boat, and we're going on break, so we'll quickly just zoom along through that. Boppity boo, boppity boo, and we're back. 10-6, we'll let this one go. So 7 million chips for Brendan after making a straight. That's good news for him. Almost back to where we started. We're still very sour about the final table so far. Rock Punk in the big blind, the short stack. We'll see if he defends facing D. Gates is open. Not this time. Oh, we're gonna rabbit peek every damn time. Bippity boo, boppity bee. 10 and a 6, we'll have the snap fold button clicked. Zoom X with the big stack. We'll see if they go for the open. They do. Fold you fool in the big blind. We'll see if they defend or not. Nope, just gonna find the fold. Ace and a 10. This looks like an open. Click the raise button. Let's go. Nice. Now what do we do if Rock Punk jams? I've got no idea. Somebody let me know. Probably just should hit the muck. Brendan's a fool and he will call. Fold you fool with a $21 bounty on their head. 3 million chips. Looks like they're thinking about an all-in and a snap fold by Brendan. Would not have made a pair. Boppity boo, boppity bee. So it looks like that's the answer. Brendan goes for the raise fold. King 10 will just hit the muck. It is a weird spot, right, with the ace and the 10. I've been super tight. People should know that. My open should gain or should garner some respect. You would think. Fold you fool says, I've got a strong hand. They rip it all in. So we just have an easy fold with an ace and the 10 offsuit. The king 10, I suppose I could have went for another open, but I think I should just play rather tight as Brendan wakes up with a couple of jacks. That's a strong holding. The 4th best starting hand in poker. We see an open from BTG. Rock Punk rips it all in for 28 bucks. Brendan's going to go all in. Most importantly, the 3.5 mil in the middle. Do we ever just call? No, that looks like a disaster play. We'll use some time bank here and rip it all in. The question is, how much time bank do we waste? About 10 to 15 seconds is what we go for. We rip it all in. Likely flipping here. We hope Rock Punk has a pocket pair. BTG likely is a bullshit holding. We see he's quite the active player. Hopefully he's got a pocket pair. That finds the call. Fish? Who's the fish? Somebody's a fish. Zoom X is not too happy about the situation. Just one time. BTG finds the fold. Jacks versus Ace 8 suited. What the fuck? Ace 8 suited? Was anybody expecting that? Any aces dealer Brendan gets a bounty. Most importantly, the 5.5 million chips. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, it's not an ace. It's a deuce. Sure looks like it could have been. Rock Punk is Gonzo Alonso. Good game. What are we even talking about? Fold you fool with a king. Sure glad they folded. Brendan gets the bounty, but again, he's back up to 10 million chips. He's in 3rd place. That's pretty awesome. That's kind of the situation we're waiting for. Entering the final table in 2nd place position. Right? As we see Fold You Fool rip it all in for 16 blinds. Doobity-doo. They should get this through. Karen in the big blind has some chips. They could go for the call. $21 bounty. Karen says not today. Fold You Fool shows an ace. And you know what? I suppose I should just quickly make sure we're recording. Could you imagine if this wasn't recording? That's happened before. Queen Jack facing the open. We'll just hit the muck. D Gates with the big stack. We'll show him some respect. Queen, Queen, 7 flop. Uh-oh. So, the fold is because not that I think D Gates has a strong opening range. It's because I don't want to induce any jams from Karen or BTG. We would have made a boat. Boppity boo, boppity bee. So I don't think a call here makes sense. I think the Queen Jack suited for ZoomX earlier makes a lot of sense to 3-bet. As we have a couple of 5s. Again, we could play call. I like it better than the Queen and the Jack. Boppity boo, boppity bee, Jack, Jack, 3 flop. 1 million chips in the middle. D Gates will put in a small bet, and we would have made another boat. Doopity doo, doppity dee. King 8 will let this one go. So I'm wondering, I'm thinking about the way this final table has gone down so far. It's very clear we've played a passive game. We've waited for a very good spot. Waited for the 4th best hand in poker. Couple of jacks. We get a bounty facing a wide jam. And an open from a wide player, or a wide opening range. Doopity doo, dot doppity dee. We passed on a 3-betting spot with the Queen Jack suited. The King Queen suited. We could have got a bounty had we played our hand a little bit stronger. 10 and a 9 will defend the big blind. Ace 5 2 flop goes check bet fold, and we're moving along. Oh, it goes check check 6 on the turn. I am not putting in a bet here. 5 blinds in the middle will not slide my way. Deuce on the river. Oh, is he gonna put in a bet? Clicks the 66% button. Quickly checks. 10-9 versus King Queen. 7 deuce. Fold you fool. They say haha. What for? Are they expecting me to bluff with the 10 and the 9 at some point? Perhaps. Queen 9 suited. We'll see if we play. Facing the open from ZoomX. We just quickly let it hit the muck. Oh, and another spot where we could have played. Another spot passed on. Boppity boo, boppity bee. So this is not too entertaining now, is it? Just a lot of folding going on. Waiting for the nuts. Just your average $3 tournament. 7-6. We'll let this one go. D Gates with the open. Doopity doo 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 doo. So I'm thinking about the Queen Jack 3-bet, and I think the reason why we don't go for it is I don't think ZoomX folds to a 3-bet. I don't even think some sort of stupid 7x size or 7 big blind size would get the job done. I think ZoomX is the type of player to find the calls facing the 3-bets, and I don't have a great reason for that as we haven't seen the 3-bet pots. But it just seems like they're a non-believer to me. Then we got D Gates just being a big bully. We should look to put some pressure on him, but to be fair, he's got the chips to put the pressure on me. So am I just in the position to sit back and wait? That's kind of just what it feels like. Just wait for your jack. Ace king would be pretty sweet too. So the queen 9 hits the muck facing the zoom X open. The king queen plays it passive when there's a bounty on the line. It's a very interesting final table. Don't think I've played it right, but I kind of understand my reasoning for why I've played it this passively. Ace jack 9 flop goes bet, call. Zoom X, a non-believer, will go in the tank here. There's the call, 6 on the turn. Wow. I do not remember this hand at all, but it just felt like a bet and a call was coming in. Do-ba-dee-do-do-do-do-do. Zoom X sizing up a bet here. Using some valuable time bank, 2.6 million chips in the middle. He will check it on back, 8 on the river. So some straights get there. D Gates goes for a Betsky, 1.2 million chips. And Zoom X. What do we do? Boppity boo, boo 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 boo. Let's do something, Zoom X. I don't have much to say here. I can't see your whole cards. He goes for a re-raise on the river and D Gates quickly folds. Doopity doo 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 doo. King and a 5 in the big blind. Doesn't really look like a defend to me. Zoom X in the small blind could limp it on in. And then do we raise? Would be fun to see, but it's very unlikely. Zoom X goes for the 3x raise and we'll just quickly let the king 5 go with a flop top pair. Boppity boo, boppity bee. 8 and a 2. We'll just let this one go. BTG with the open under the gun. No action for them. Do 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 do. 6 and a 5 on the button. Just looking to fold, it looks like. I suppose we could go for the open, but we aren't playing super deep. So the 6 and the 5 will just hit the muck. Karen will limp it on in. 10-3-3 flop goes bet. Big bet at that. Super dry board. Karen goes for the big size. BTG with some sort of holding, thinking about a call here. They do just land on the fold. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Oh, a couple of kings. That's a strong holding. Zoom X goes for the open. Then we should go for a super small 3-bet or a call. The call is very interesting. Fold you fool in the big blind, getting a great price to come along. The ace attractors. Brendan plays call. Tempting fate. Looking for a fold you fool jam. Doobity doo 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 doo. They're going deep in the tank here. It might be coming in. There's the all in. We're super excited. Look at this. What a play by Brendan. I suppose Fold You Fool just has a holding. Probably some sort of ace X, a pocket pair. And D Gates says hurry up. Zoom X will fold. Brendan will quickly call with the kings. Oh, it's a couple of 5s. Just sweating the 5s. Boppity boo, a spade. Nope, he's got no backdoor flush draw. Just the 5s. Uh-oh. Look at the river. 4-4. Or sorry, a 4 on the river. Fold you fool with a couple of 5s. That's no good for him. Brendan gets the bounty once again. I do like setting the trap. We got 5-5 to rip it all in. Had we 3-bet the 5s, probably fold. Zoom X would have folded their bullshit as well. So just like that, we get the bounty. We're down to 5 players, $300 locked up. Brendan's got 11 million chips. He's in 3rd place. Not too bad of a situation to be in. Do-ba-dee-do-do-do-do-do. Alrighty, so I would like to see me pick up the aggression now that we're down to 5 players. We're playing with 30 big blinds. BTG will go for the open, and the open will get through. Do. King and a king once again. ZoomX goes for the open. Brendan goes for the 3-bet. What size do we go? We don't need to go large. 7 blinds might be a little bit too big even. We should use some time bank here. Do we ever just call and let Karen blast off in the big blind? I don't think so. We're going to fast play the kings. Hopefully Karen dunks it on in. That would be pretty sweet. They find the fold. ZoomX very likely to fold as well. The ace attractors did not attract an ace this time. Would have been cool to see a call, but I think we're playing a little bit too deep to slow play the kings there. And if Karen's got a strong hand, they're just going to dunk it in any which way. Anyways, we're moving along. 12 million chips, 2nd place position. ZoomX will play call. D gates with the open. Boopity boo, boppity bee. Jack 7-4 flop goes. I don't know. Bet super small. ZoomX likely to call. I suppose you could stick in a raise, but it doesn't seem like the type of player to do so. They just land on the fold option. Doopity doo da doo da doo. Ace and a 6. You see, I would like to see a raise fold here. Don't you dare just fold. Oh my lord. What a pussy. A raise fold was certainly in store there. As we see D gates facing the limp will go for the raise. What the hell's wrong with me? So nobody needs to let me know that I'm playing too tight, because I already know that. I suppose where I would like some help is with the king and the queen facing the aggression from Karen. As we've seen them completely tighten up, doesn't it just seem like Karen's the tight player that Brendan should just fold to on the turn facing such a large bet? It seems like Karen's a tight player, so it seems like that's a good fold to me. What other holdings? The 9-9 facing the all-in from AH with fold fools open with the ace and the jack. Should I just dunk in the 9s? It's a weird spot. Should I go bounty hunting? It was a very small bounty, so I just said I'm going to fold. Doopity doo, dappity dee. So the 9 seem like a fold, the king-queen seems like a fold. I'm very uncertain on both of those. It's very obvious I'm playing a little too tight. Hopefully going forward we'll see some more action. Ace and a 9. Facing ZoomX open, I'd love to see a call. ZoomX folds. See, I don't know what to do here. Do we put some pressure on Karen? I like a limp as well. I'm a big fan of limping it. Oh, and we face a jam. See, so Karen's so damn tight, I'm just going to fold the ace and the 9. And we just save ourselves a couple blinds, I think. It would really suck if Karen's jamming some sort of lower ace-x, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they're just going to go to a flop. Although, to be fair, it could be some sort of pocket pair. Ace and an 8, same suit. We got to play this, Brendan. Come on. Oh my lord, ZoomX is getting away with murder. Brendan's just allowing for it. Ace high board, 3 diamonds. That would have been very difficult to navigate, but still. 9 deuce is an easy fold. So the ace 8, I don't think I should 3-bet. I think I should just call. The queen jack suited earlier. I think I should 3-bet against ZoomX. Nonetheless, there's a lot of interesting hands that are making me think, and it seems like I'm taking the passive option in all of them as the king 10 hits the muck. Could have raised under the gun. Doobity-doo, BTG. I suppose this is just like a very good learning lesson for all the viewers where it's like, hey, Brendan's not a great player. He certainly clams up on the final table, as we all do. Doopity-doo, doppity-dee. 8 and a 2, this will be an easy fold. Karen rips it all in for their 15 blinds. Queen 5 in the small blind. I do like another limp. D Gates will go for the open. You know what? Things are super weird with our two short stacks having nice big bounties, $60 a piece. I think we're very enticed to play pots with them as we pick up the ace and the 9. Doopity-doo, doo-doo-doo. ZoomX goes for the open. A 3-bet would be cool. A fold is ridiculous, man. Oh, this is just fucking ridiculous. Makes me want to play some cards because Brendan is playing poorly on this final table. Must be a little too stoned or something. King 10 suited. Again, another 3-betting hand. ZoomX goes for the fold, so we're going to go for the open, of course. Doopity-doo, doppity-dee, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. BTG thinking about a raise. Instead, our raise will get through. We would have flop top pair and a flush draw. Queen and a 4, we'll let this one go. BTG will go for the open. D Gates will call from the small. ZoomX in the big. Also completes. Excuse me. King 9-8 flop goes check. Likely a check from ZoomX. BTG sees a king high board with a flush draw. Plenty of straight draws. Could go for the big bet here. Doopity-doo, doppity-dee. Looking at the dollars again, just dreaming of the 750 up top. Plus all the bounties. Boopity-boo, boopity-boo. We see BTG go for a small bet here, about 1 million chips into about 3. D Gates will find the call. ZoomX in the big blind. With about 50 seconds left to act. Goes for a huge raise, 4.4 million chips. This is way too big in my humble opinion. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. So what's a more appropriate size? Something? So BTG has 7 million chips in total. I think 3.5 is a perfect number. You put in half a BTG stack in case they go all in and D Gates does something silly. Plays call. You still got the option to go all in facing that action. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. A 5 and a 3. ZoomX with not much going on here. Goes for the 3x raise. 5-3 hits the muck. Would have flopped a pair, but 5-3 should probably just hit the muck facing the 3x. There was a king 5 facing the 3x. Should I defend that? Facing a super aggressive opponent who was limping earlier? Switching it on up to the 3x strategy. Excuse me. I'll let the king 5 go. ZoomX goes for the open. BTG in the big blind will find the fold. And ZoomX is chilling at about 18 million chips in first place position. King and a 2 will let this one go. All in from BTG and that jam will get through. 6 and a 5 will find the fold. D Gates will go from the min open. Ooh, look at our stats there. 4% 3-bet, that's way too small. Do 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 do. 10-9-3 flop goes bet call, queen on the turn, so some straights get there. King Jack and Jack 9. There's still the flush draw. 8-7 is still a possibility. D Gates goes for a half pot size betish. Zoom X will call. King of Hearts on the river, so the flush completes. One liner to a jack out there. And D Gates goes for the big bet. 4 million chips, and Zoom X will quickly fold. Ooh, an ace and a queen. Rip it in, Karen. Karen goes all in. Ace and a queen will call for half our stack. Go for this $60 bounty. Hopefully things go well. If D Gates calls, we're all in. If Zoom X calls, we're all in. All in, dealer. All in. And now we hope for the best. Do buddy do 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 do. Call. D Gates calls. This is a big side pot. 11 million chips. Sevens versus ace 10 versus ace queen. Queen on the flop. Any sevens, dealer? Any sevens. Holy shit, a 5 on the river. Brendan's got 25 million chips. $60 bounty. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Ship it is right. First place position for Brendan. That's good news. 25 million chips once again. 60 blinds, a 10 and a 4. I would really love to put my foot on the gas here. 10-4 just hits the muck. We're just staying passive. With that being said, I will continue to say every time I wish I played aggressive. Queen 5, I suppose we could let hit the muck. But if Zoom X folds, I would like to see a raise. Trying a new disrespectful raise strategy where we just open just about every hand. With that big stack, we can just put a lot of pressure on the shorties. And if we face any resistance, we have easy folds. D Gates goes for the limp. Zoom X says, what the hell is this about? Looks like they're sizing up a raise here. 1.4 million chips. And the raise will get through. Ooh, so a big flip ski. Should we dunk it in with the ace and the queen? I sure like it. Let's go bounty hunting. Let's go for the big stack. Let's play for first place. D Gates with a couple of sevens loses a big pot. It's unfortunate for them. They could have got about 120 bucks in bounties had they won. Boopity boo. But most importantly, the chips. Brendan with 25 million has an ace and a 7 in the big blind. We're going 3 ways to the king 10-6 flop. 1 diamond. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Flop goes check, check. Again, we could see BTG go for a bet here. Board's not as wet. There's plenty of straight draws out there. No flush draw. BTG checks it on back. 5 on the turn. Zoom X wants the 7 blinds in the middle. They're going to go for a 3.5 blind bet. Half pot. We snap fold. And BTG also lets their hand go. Queen and a 3. See, again, I would like to see some sort of play if Zoom X folds. At least we didn't have the snap fold button hit. That's good to know. Zoom X will get another raise through. Jack and a 6 of the same suit. This is an open if Zoom X folds. Yep. I was ready to fold. Zoom X is just playing way too aggressive. Should really look to apply some pressure on him. As we see BTG play call from the small. Off the short stack with about 10 blinds in total. Ace 6-4 flop goes check, check. Probably going to see a bet. Boopity boo, boppity bee. Zoom X puts in a million chip bet. BTG finds the call. 9 of clubs on the turn, so the flush completes. 3 million chips behind, 5.5 in the middle. Very big pot. ZoomX puts them all in. BTG finds the call. Ace 6 for 2 pair versus kings with the flush draw. Uh-oh. Just a club or a king, I suppose, would also get the job done. We see that the 3 of clubs on the river. BTG gets the full double. Doopity-doo. Doppity-dee. 7 deuce. We'll let this one go. D Gates goes for the open, the min open. Do 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 do. ZoomX in the tank will play call. 6-4-3 flop goes bet. I think we're gonna see a fold from ZoomX. We'll see what happens though. D Gates has been super aggro. Tried to put a lot of pressure on ZoomX and it hasn't worked out well for him so far. ZoomX will put in the raise to 2.5 mil. All in from D Gates. And ZoomX quickly folds. Do. 8 and a 7 of the same suit. This is an interesting holding. Facing an open, I think we call. ZoomX 3 bets, we have an easy fold. Don't you dare fold. Let's go to the flop. Ace, king, queen. We'll check fold. Ten and a 3. We'll quickly let this one go. Although again, we could look to apply some pressure on BTG if ZoomX folds. We just let the shit hand go. Ace and an 8 of the not same suit. We'll go for the open here. Fold to 3 bets. Boppity boo, boppity bee. King Jack 5 flop. We've got the backdoor nut flush draw. Looks like we're going to size up a C bet. 2 blinds to go. Hopefully we get this one through, and we do. See, that's reasonable. Way to go. King 7, we'll let this one go. We could go for the open again. Just look to apply a lot of pressure to these shorter stacks. Looks like a pot we could have won had we taken the aggressive line. Ace and a 5 in the big blind. Defending hand. ZoomX. Might go for the 3x again. He just finds the fold. Would have flopped 2 pairs. Do bitty do a 10 and a 5. Again, we could put some pressure on BTG. We're just not gonna do it. D Gates goes for the open so we can find the fold. It is kind of weird, like BTG is an active player, D Gates active, ZoomX is active. I'm obviously the most tight player on the final table. Other than Karen. So it's just interesting. With the big stack, we're letting these shorties go to war. And I don't think I should. I think I should be applying the pressure on them. Do betty do 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 do. Jack on the turn. We see another bet from D Gates. Do 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 do. All in from ZoomX and a quick fold from D Gates. Ace on the river. Oh, a jack for ZoomX. He's all in on the turn. Very interesting. Probably at 2 pairs. 3-3 we should open. Nice. Just a raise fold in my humble opinion. ZoomX very likely defend the big blind. We're going to have to put in a lot of C-bets here. We could turn our hand into a 3-street bluff as well. We're going to go for the standard C-bet at 2 blinds. High card, low card, low card. 2 diamonds out there. We get the bet through. See how easy it is when you just put your foot on the gas? Like, why wouldn't you do it? I guess it makes sense as we've navigated the final table quite well up to this point. There's a few interesting hands, but we're sitting here in a very comfortable first place position. We've just under half the chips in play. That's kind of cool to see. 7 of 4, the same suit, we'll hit the muck. Ace 6-3, flop goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Right? Yep, BTG just lets go of the ace. Or sorry, I don't know what they had, but they let go of their hand, excuse me, on the ace high board. Queen 7, we could go for the open. We don't. D Gates gets a walk. Just another passive play that we shouldn't have opted for. King Jack suited, we will certainly open. We'll have to fold to a 3-bet, which really sucks. Get a call from the small 9-4-2 flop. No spade out there. Very interesting. Do we want to go for the C-bet? Looks like we're going to land on the check option. 7 on the turn. Turn might go check check as well. 10 on the river. This is D Gates pots if he wants it. He goes for the check. He's going to show the ace high. King Jack doesn't get the job done this time. Do 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 do. Queen and a 10 in the big blind. I think if Zoom X goes for the 3x, we have to call. They just go for the fold once again. Jack 9-5 flop. 9 and a 5 again. Just a spot. If Zoom X folds, I want to go for some sort of aggressive line against BTG. Fuck it, even a limp. Just the folding seems ridiculous. Zoom X down to the last seconds of their time bank. We'll go for the open. And they're going to face a jam from BTG. $60 bounty on the line. We'll see if Zoom X goes bounty hunting. It's a large chunk of their chips. Another 8.3 million chips to call. They're down to 2.8 if they're wrong. 8s versus ace jack suited. Big flip here. King 6-4 flop. Any ace or jack will do. Doopity doo. Otherwise, we're down to 3. Looks like a clean card. Zoom X gets the bounty. We're down to 3. Goodbye. Ten and a 4, we'll just let this one go. So we're still in first place position, but not by much now. And D Gates and Zoom X, they're not afraid to battle it on out. 6-4-3 flop goes bet. Zoom X with no time. He's gonna have to make decisions rather quickly. Just finds the fold on the flop. Doopity doo 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 doo. Queen and a 6 in the big blind. As Zoom X raises, I think we have an easy fold now. They go for the limp here. We'll check it on back. 8-6. Oh no, 8-5-3 flop. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Feels like a call. We do find it. We could go for the raise in the flop. Jack of hearts on the turn. I think we're done with the hand here. Zoom X goes for another bet, and the bet will get through. Doobity doo 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 doo. Ace 4 suited. This is a strong holding. What do we want to do? We go for the limp. We could go for a raise. We're gonna let D Gates see the flop for free. Queen Jack 10 goes check. Small bet. And a couple of kings come. Oh fuck, we would have made our straight. More passive play gets punished once again. 9-7, we could have raised, we just let it go. Boopity boo, boppity boo. Alright, the goal for the next final table is to play a hell of a lot more hands. That's for sure. We're doing a good job of navigating still, but like, once we got down to the final 5, I think we really should have turned it up. The start to the final table I think was pretty well, other than the king-queen hand. That was a really poorly played hand. Doopity doo, dappity doo. And we obviously got lucky a couple times with kings. Ace queen, we win a big flip. Got a flush draw here. 2 big blind bet. No straight draw. 9 high. We're gonna find the call once again. I think we should probably just let this one go. We make a pair of 2s on the river. 5 million chips in the middle. Zoom X is very likely to scoop the pot here. 3 million chips is the bet. And we land on the fold. 3 of spades. He could have had a whole lot of bullshit there. I think if he had a bluff, he would have showed both cards, to be honest with you. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ace 8-7 flop goes check. Hopefully ZoomX puts in a bet here. Nah, they go for the check. 8 on the turn. I don't know what you think, but when my opponent shows one card, I'm almost always confident that they're not bluffing. Because had they, had they bluffed, they're just so willing to show the bluff. They're just ecstatic to show their bluffs. So in situations where they show one card, trying to make it look like they bluffed you off the hand, makes me feel really confident about my folds. Queen 5 would have made 2 pairs. I don't know if the Queen 5 is an open into ZoomX's big blind. D Gates with plenty of chips now. 3 ways we're starting to even up chip-wise. I had the 25 million chip stack at one point. We're down to 17 and 17.7. D Gates with 15 million chips. 23 for ZoomX. He puts in a half pot size bet on the 7 turn. There's 2 flush draws out there. Plenty of straight draws. Complete brick on the river. 2 of spades. The pot is quite large. 9 blinds in the middle. Doopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. ZoomX in the tank. We'll go for another betski here, and the bet will get through. See, like, if he's got a bluff, he's just so willing to show it. Why don't you... He would show it. This just looks like it's a value hand. Limp pot. King 7. We'll check it on back. 9-8-4 flop. 7 of hearts is a very interesting card here. Facing the ZoomX. Check. We should probably check it on back. 8 of clubs on the turn. King high is a very interesting call down. We're not even facing any action. It's likely our opponent has an ace high hand here now. Some sort of small pocket pair. Some sort of showdown value. Otherwise, he's probably putting in a bluff. So maybe a pair of 4s. ZoomX goes for a 2x overbet on the river. So what do you have? 6-7? 5-5? I don't know. Hearts? I doubt it. They would have bet at some point, I think. So I suppose the 9-2 hand is very interesting. We flopped the flush draw. I believe it was an ace high board. Boppity boo, boppity bee. We call a couple bets. Make a pair of 2s on the river. Should we fold on the turn is the question with the flush draw. I think it was a 2 big blind bet into about 4.5. Playing with about 25 blinds behind. Maybe it's just a call. Look to make our flush. Look to win a big pot. King Queen 2 flop goes bet fold, and we're swiftly moving along. Doobity doo 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 doo. ZoomX. We'll go for the 3x open. The 4 and the 3 will quickly hit the muck. And we're moving along. So we're in last place. That's not good. 3 of 3. A jack 8 off. ZoomX open. We see ZoomX aggression has really allowed for them to just propel into first place. Very comfortable chip stack. About 27 million chips. We have an ace and a 7 off 20 some blinds. We'll go for the open. It's really weird if ZoomX rips. $100 bounty on the line for ZoomX. They're just going to find the fold. I was going to say, I've got no idea what to do. 20 blinds, ace 7, 3-handed. I probably just find the fold as Brendan wakes up with a couple of 10s. So we're going to go for some sort of 3-bet here. Raise and a call. I don't mind to dunk it all in. Although, to be fair, we could go for some sort of smaller 3-bet. I don't know if I'm ever going 4.8 million, 5.6 million. I don't think I'm ever going anywhere in between there. So I just go for the all-in option off 20 blinds. And we get the jam through. Boppity boo, we would have flopped top set. Should have just played call. No. I don't mind a jam there. Although, somebody let me know if you think the 10s is just a big punt, ripping it in there. Maybe I should just call. Maybe I should go for a smaller 3-bet. I don't know. I landed on the all-in option. We got the all-in through. We're up to 19 mil. Boppity boo, boppity bee. 9-8-5 flop goes check, check, 8 on the turn. D Gates puts in a Betsky here. Zoom X in the tank will find the fold. Ten and a 4 will find the fold. Let these two battle it on out. And D Gates will just fold as well. Do. Ace and an 8. Do. Zoom X do something. They limp it on in. We could raise it on up. We could just check it on back as well. We're going to go for the 3.5x raise, it looks like. Oh, no, we just check it back. King 8-3 flop. We're going to have to hang in there for at least a bet or two. Small bet on the flop for 1 blind. Easy call. 6 of clubs on the turn. That's bad news for us. There's still plenty of draws out there. Zoom X checks it on over. You know, for a 2 big blind protection bet. Get some value from 3s, 6s, single club hands, straight draws, and Zoom X just folds. Do, buddy, do, a king and a 5. Feels like we should do something here. We're gonna land on the limp option. D Gates checks it back. 9-6-4 flop. Don't see a reason to bet here. Although folding, check folding feels really weird. We do see a large ass bet. So the king high will hit the muck. Doopity doo. 6 and a 4 will just fold. Blinds go up. D Gates will raise from the small blind. Zoom X in the big. We'll call 10-4-3 flop. Goes bet. 2 big blind bet. Half pot size. Zoom X calls. 9 on the turn. Doopity doo. D Gates goes for another Betsky. 2.4 million chips. Zoom X calls once again. 9 on the river. So D Gates down to 13 blinds. He's all in. Zoom X quickly folds. Queen and a 6 in the big blind. I don't think we defend here. Facing a limp, we just go to the flop. We get a walk. Buddy, 9 and a 4 the same suit. Zoom X folds. I like a limp. Again, we could go for some sort of raising strategy, but I'm just not doing it. I'm going for the limp fold strategy. 7-3-3 flop goes check. No spade out there. No backdoor straight draw. Just looking for a 9 or a 4. And we face an overbet on the flop. I've got no idea what D Gates is getting up to, but he's betting every flop like he's got the friggin' nuts. Ooh, we got a couple of jakes. We'll go for the open. And we'll get the open through. 3 deuce for D Gates. He wanted to see what I had. 9-4 suited in the big blind facing a limp. We could always throw in some sort of raise facing Zoom X's limps. With any one of these holdings, trying to get him to fold pre-flop. Ace Jack 3 flop goes bet fold, and we're swiftly moving along. A 4 and a 2 will just fold, facing the Zoom X open. Had they folded, we would have folded as well. D Gates in the big blind. Jack 10-2 flop. Interesting board. Should be good for D Gates. It's not horrific for Zoom. They've got plenty of draws they could have. The straight draws, the flush draws, the overcards. They go for a Betsky on the flop, and they face a very tiny check raise. So I'm thinking about this three-way battle. I think it's very reasonable for me to play tight as right and allow for these two to battle it on out and just wait for good spots. I could just be wrong. Maybe I should be fighting harder for chips. And I think I should be fighting a little bit harder, but to an extent, the longer I watch this patient play, it makes some sense to me. Doopity-doo. 7-3-2 flop goes check, check, jack on the turn. Goes bet, call, king on the river. Flush misses. Straight draws miss. Doopity-doo. 6.7 million chips in the middle. D-Gates goes for a 4 million chip bet. ZoomX jams and D-Gates quickly folds. Huge pot going ZoomX's way. Shows the two of hearts. He probably had duck or some sort of pair. Or two pair, sorry. Again, like, you're just not showing the two as a bluff. It's just not happening. Boopity boo. 9-8 suited. We'll call the big blind. King Jack 3 flop goes check bet fold. And we're swiftly moving along. Oh, it goes check check queen on the turn. Don't think we take a stab here. Just a straight draw to the 10. We see a sizable bet on the turn. Easy fold. ZoomX with the open. D-Gates with the min raise. And ZoomX will find the fold. Queen 6 will just hit the muck. Playing about 20 blinds deep. D-Gates will go for the open. ZoomX calls 10-9-2 flop. Plenty of draws out there. Spades, backdoor hearts, all the straight draws. ZoomX goes for a large bet. 2 million chips into 3.5. Faces another tiny raise by D-Gates. Yeah, I gotta say, just let these two go to war. 3 of spades on the turn. Stack the pot ratio about 1-1. We'll see if they get this all in. 6.4 million chips is the bet. The flush completes. And ZoomX will find the fold. Eight and a 4 for Brendan. ZoomX might go for the limp. Now they go for the big raise, and that will buy the pot pre-flop. Again, I'm kind of waiting for a spot to facing a limp to go for some sort of raise. Queen, queen. We'll see how things go about here. ZoomX goes for the open. Looks like I'm just going to go for the all-in once again, playing about 15, 16 blinds deep. Again, I could go for some sort of non-all-in 3-bet, which is interesting. I just typically don't find it. I just typically rip it all in. Grip it and rip it. Boo, 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 boo. 4s hit the muck. Uh-oh, should have played call. Should have slow played that time. Ace-7 suited will go for the open. And then I guess if ZoomX rips, do we call? Man, I've got no idea. Queen Jack 2 flop. Not our board. We'll see if we go for the C-bet or just check it back. We go for the check ski here. 8 on the turn. Looks like a fair card for D-Gates to bet. They go for the 3 million chip bet, and the bet will get through. Do 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 bitty do 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 do. ZoomX playing 10 blinds deep. We'll just find the fold. That's good news for us. Do bitty do 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 do. 8-5. We'll just fold. Boopity boo, boppity bee. 4 and a 2, we'll let that one go. Doopity doo 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 doo. Do 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 do. 8 and a 7 of the same suit. Let's go to the flop dealer. We are only playing about 16 blinds deep. If ZoomX rips, we fold. Otherwise, I think we call. Oh, we're just going to lay it down. We're waiting for ZoomX to bust, apparently. Looking to get heads up. ZoomX with 7.5 blinds. Brendan with 14. Just looking to make the heads up battle with as many chips as I can as ZoomX gets a jam through. Do. 4 and a 2 of the same suit. We'll let this one go. D Gates will raise it on up. ZoomX rips it all in. D Gates does call here. $100 bounty on the line. King Jack versus Ace 3. Here we go. 20 blinds in the middle. Oh, King high board. Any Ace or 3, please. Oh, King on the turn will lock it up for ZoomX. So they're back in the game with 20 bigs. That's bad news for Brendan, obviously. Do. Jack and a 5. We'll let this one go facing a raise. Oh, we get a walk. Great news for us. Eight, 6 off. Facing the raise from ZoomX. We have the snap fold button pressed. We're just swiftly moving along. Queen 6-3 flop goes check. Love to see these two continue to fire away at one another. ZoomX does go for a Betsky 1.6 million into 5. D Gates calls. We would have made 3 of a kind. That doesn't matter. We had an 8 and a 6 of the offsuits. Do. 5 on the river completes the flush. D Gates bets 6 million chips here. Hopefully ZoomX finds the call. He lands on the fold option, but we're pretty well tied up with him once again. So that's good news. And we're going on break. So let's quickly fast forward through this shit. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Sweet. 9 and a 4. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Let's it go pre. Do, Betty do. 10 and a 4 in the big blind, a pretty shit holding. ZoomX limps. Oh, we're doing the raise here. Oh, he was going for it. 7-6-3 flop. He was thinking about a raise. Oh, he thought about it. Think long and think wrong. He thought really quick. 4 on the turn. Very interesting card. We make a pair. Oh, I think I remember this hand. Brendan gets a little bit too curious here. 1.5 million chips is the bet. We land on a call. 6 on the river. So obviously there's a one-liner to a 5. Spades miss. 8-9 misses. Ace deuce misses. Ace 5 is a straight. ZoomX goes for the big Betsky here. Sitting here now, I like a call. I know the results. I just think ZoomX is doing this way too much. But to be fair, we do land on the call. He shows us a 5 with the spade draw to boot. So we were just super behind the whole time. We were in trouble. And we got caught. Ace and a king. 7 blinds. We'll happily dunk it on in. Do we ever limp here? We've been doing a lot of limps. Boopity boo, boppity bee. D Gates quickly folds. So we're down to 9 blinds. That's bad news. We got way too curious with a pair of 4s. Looked like a board where ZoomX was going to be stabbing a lot, and I felt like they were going to fire with all their bluffs on the board pairing river. So I found the call, and I was wrong. I was so curious, I just had to pay to see. Do-betty do. So I suppose well played by ZoomX. You got my chips, most of them anyways. We got a king and a 7 in this big blind. Facing a jam, what do? I've got no idea. We do face the jam. We're just going to land on the fold this time. Queen, queen, 3 flop. It's like once there's the change of action, so ZoomX was limping. Now that you're jamming, it's like, well, I'm going to be a little bit more patient. King 7 suited, we'll rip it all in from the small blind. Looks like we're just switching it up to a jam strategy. And the jam gets through. 4-3, yep, show us your bullshit. Doobity doo 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 doo. D Gates limps it on in. ZoomX checks it back. Ace 10 8 flop. Goes bet. And likely ZoomX folds. That they do. 9 and a 4, the same suit. ZoomX jams. We have an easy fold. He walks it out. We would have flopped top pairs. Doobity doo 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 doo. 10 and a 6 of the same suit. Very interesting spot. ZoomX goes for the open, so we'll just let our hand go. I'm just wondering, had they folded, do we jam again? That's typically what I see in the high stakes. You just take your high equity hand, stick it all in. Doobity doo 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 doo. With that being said, we have a $100 bounty on our head, so the 10-6 could have went for the limp fold. That's a pretty weak play too, though. Ace King 10 flop goes bet call 4 on the turn. That brings in the flush draw. Or yeah, it brings in the flush draw that would have complete on the river. Brendan would have made a flush. What does it matter? Doobity doo. ZoomX sizing up a bet here. We'll bet 5.4 million chips. Quick call from D Gates. The queen high flush versus a pair of kings, and just like that, Brendan avoided a huge cooler. He's surviving. ZoomX back in first place with their 27 million chip stack. Obviously, we're not where we want to be. We are playing super short, so it's not going to take too much to get back in the game here. Could still get heads up, providing these two go to war as they have been. D Gates firing away on the 5 turn. ZoomX calls 4 on the river. The flush misses. Some straights get there. D Gates fires all in. Hopefully ZoomX finds the call. Right? Call. Oh no, he finds the fold. That's horrific news for Brendan. These two are just throwing chips back and forth. King and a 5 facing an all in. Do we call? I don't know. I'm a little bit more tempted. But maybe King 5 just hits the muck once again. Ooh, aces. Hopefully we can get back in the freaking game here. We face an open from ZoomX. Do we ever just call from the small? I doubt it. I'm pretty well all in with all my holdings here. And if ZoomX somehow finds a fold, then fuck me. Only about 7 million more for ZoomX to call. D Gates folds. $100 bounty. And ZoomX finds the fold, for fuck's sakes. Aces don't get any action, but we do pick up a nice pot. 13.5 million chips, and we have a jack and a 9. We're going to let it go. So, you know what? That 10-4, was it 10-4 where I made the hero call with the pair of 4s? That hand really hurt us. The king-queen fold I can get over. The king-queen early in the tournament with a bounty on the line. Facing a big bet on the turn against king-queen. I'm over that hand. I'm not over... What hand was it? The 10-4 hand. Even though in the moment I was thinking to myself, I like a call here. I know what the results are. I know I lose the hand. Blinds go up. ZoomX is down to 11 bigs. No, he's got 11 million chips, sorry. Facing the limp from D Gates. 10-9-6 flop. Would have flopped 2 pairs. That doesn't matter. Whew. So yeah, the 10-4 call. I think in the end I should just land on a fold, even though ZoomX has been bullying me. Feels like I should just find a better spot to put my foot down. In the end, I got curious with the pair of 4s. That was my downfall as we're sitting here in second place position. I'm just thinking the 4 million chips would have been so important right now. We could have got action with aces. We could have just called from the small. We could have done so many more things. I think we had queens after it. That hero call really fucked me. ZoomX rips it all in. Gets it on through. That's bad news for me. 10-6 suited. Playing off 6.5 blinds. We'll find the fold. D gates will raise. Zoom X calls. 10-3-2 flop. Interesting. D gates checks it on over. 7 million chips in the middle. Zoom X puts in a 2 big blind bet. Quick call from D gates. Flush draw on the turn. That's 2 of them. Some straights get there. Ace 5 and 5-6. Boopity boo. And all in a call. 9-6 versus 3-2. 2 pairs versus top pair. Hopefully we hold. Goodbye. What? 5 on the river. What? What? So just like that. We're not heads up. This is bad news for Brendan. He's got a queen and a 10. Oh shit. Do we call here? D gates has been tight, but it still feels like a call. Surely we don't jam. 8-5-2 flop. What do we do? Stack to pot ratio 1-1. Do we just check fold here? What a horrific situation to be in. King on the turn. Zoom X should have been gone a couple of times, I think. Instead, we're lining up for 3rd place. Down to 4 bigs. Boopity boo, boppity bee. 8 and a 4. We'll happily let this go. Queen 5, we'll let this one go. Hopefully these 2 get all in somehow again. 8-5-2 flop. All diamonds. D gates starts things off with a check. Zoom X puts in a bet, and the bet gets through. Doobity doo. King 4 suited in the big blind. 3.5 blinds. If Zoom X jams, we snap call apparently. Ace 5 for Zoom X. We're going to need a king or 4 or some hearts. We got about 40% here. 10-8-3 flop. No hearts. That's bad news. Jack on the turn. A king or a 4 dealer. One time. One time. Not going to happen. 3 on the river. Doopity doo. Zoom X gets a $100 bounty. Brendan gets 3rd place. And again, we're going to see it's out of about 6,000 runners. 5,800. 3rd place. Not too bad of a showing. $750 for our efforts. Doopity doo. You know what? Great game by D gates. Great game by Zoom X. They kind of deserve to battle this one out for 1st place. Brendan kind of deserves 3rd place position. Made a few weird folds. The 9s we could have went bounty hunting. The king queen we could have got a bounty. Other than that, played very patiently. And kind of just took our spots when they came. I suppose that's the end of the show though, so if you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this shit out. Hopefully we'll see you in another video sometime. Until then, adios amigos.